Doesn't the screen flip?
I dropped it.
All right.
So I did.
All right. You want to just start?
Yeah. Okay. Hey everyone, I am not in my normal shop today. I'm hanging out with the awesome and wonderful Laura Kampf. Do I pronounce your name right?
That's fine. Yeah, that's awesome.
Hanging out with Laura today, and we're going to be building. What are we building?
We're trying to build nightstands, but we're each having a different take on it. Exactly. So April's going to do her version. I'm going to do my version, and we're each going to do our own video as well. All right.
Let's get going.
Let's do it.
We very quickly decided to change plans, and instead of working separately on separate tables, decided to work on the same table together. And we decided to make an end grain end table where we would leave a void in the center so that we could fill it full of tokens from our time together and then epoxy it in.
Like the pencil?
Oh yeah, the pencil, perfect. Or anything else, like you were talking about the ticket, if like we go buy material, throw it in the epoxy.
Let's do it. That's cool.
So with the plan established, we raided Laura's scrap bin in order to find some stock to work with. So went over to Laura's jointer and first jointed one of the edges and one of the faces. Then Laura made it go into full transformer mode and turned the jointer into a thickness planer, so that we could then thickness it down to the size that we needed. Of course, both of us having tape measures because, well, she works in metric and I work in imperial. After that, we moved over to the table saw.
And the green button is where you turn it on.
Oh, it's not the red one? It's not the red one?
No, it's the green one. The red one.
Joking. I know it's the green one.
I first cut the stock into strips and then rotated the fence around and cut it into pieces. While doing that, Laura found a different scrap that would contrast but also go with the zebra wood. And she first squared it up over at the joiner and then cut it to size over at the table saw while I sanded up all of the small pieces. Then we started playing with different grain orientations and patterns.
Alright, that's good.
That's what I do with my sandwiches. I put like mayo and mustard on it. This is what I do with my bread.
Laura and I only had a few days to get this project done, so instead of doing a proper glue up, which is layer by layer, we decided to take all the pieces, squish them together, and hope for the best, which meant lots of clamps.
There you go.
Should be good, huh?
Yeah, it totally should be good.
But let me try a hammer. Oh yeah.
Got it.
There you go.
What do you think?
I think we cut it up.
Yeah, definitely.
See what it looks like?
So now that we had the big chunk, we took it over the table saw and cut it into 4 pieces. And since the chunk is taller than the table saw, Laura ran it through once, flipped it around, and ran it through again. Now, we originally thought to make the larger blocks offset from the corners. However, we changed our mind and decided to put them directly in the corners. To give that center section just a little bit nicer of a backdrop, Laura grabbed a piece of scrap brass, marked it to the size it needed to be using an ice pick, and then cut it using an angle grinder. Next, we moved on to yet another glue up. We grabbed a scrap piece of plywood to make up the bottom and then glued the pieces to the plywood. Brought out the clamps once again and then let it sit up overnight.
Oh dude, you got some great tasting shirts.
How you like that?
After removing all of the clamps, we gave it a good sanding. Or, well, Laura gave it a good sanding. I just kind of poked around her shop, to be honest.
It's always the best moment, huh?
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even remember which oil we used, but it really made that zebra wood grain look nice. We set the top over to the side to dry and then started making a base. And the base is just made from mostly scrap metal that Laura had hanging around. Cut it to size using the bandsaw and then tacked and welded 2 frames together made from angle iron. One of the frames will be used for the top and then another one for the base. We came back with a grinding wheel to make them flat and smooth, just for painting later on. When it came time to attaching the legs, Laura really wanted to go from one corner diagonally over to the next, and I think this decision made the table come out looking really unique. After cutting the flat bar to size, just tacked and welded them into place as well. Again, coming back with an angle grinder to flatten out those welds, so that we can apply a simple finish in order to keep the base from rusting. Then last thing was to set the base in place and start filling it with tokens. Now, of course, all of these things are things that Laura and I collected during our time together. But of course, you could replicate this project to make a really sentimental piece to someone special. Just learn from our mistake with the epoxy.
Why is it so red?
I don't know. Maybe because of the water?
I mean, maybe it looks good.
It's gonna have to at this point.
That's true. Whoa.
Oh, I think it rocks. So the epoxy didn't come out perfect. It's supposed to be clear.
Yeah, the thing, I don't know why, but I mixed the epoxy in one of those old cans, and it's either the leftover coconut water, but I think I washed them out, or it's probably the aluminum can that reacted with the epoxy, and somehow it turned it like kind of purple red.
Yeah, so unfortunately that did not come out clear, but still, it's part of the story, it's part of the build, and it's part of Laura's table that she must keep at this point. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. So I hope that y'all enjoyed the project, getting to see Laura's shop, and of course if you have not checked out Laura's channel, then there is a link for you down below. That's it for this one. I'll see you next time.
Oh, with a bing.